Let's start standing at the top of the mat. Bring your palms together, thumbs to your heart, and close your eyes. Take a moment to tune in to how you're feeling today. Scan down your body from your head down to your toes. And start to deepen your breath. Take this moment to set an intention for your practice, just reflecting on what brings you to the mat today. And when you're ready, slowly blink your eyes open. Let your hands come down by your sides and start to roll your shoulders back, making some small circles. And then when you're ready, switching directions, rolling your shoulders forward. Inhale, lift your arms overhead, extended mountain, and bring the hands to the heart. Again, circling the arms up and overhead, and bringing the hands to the heart. Next, circling your arms overhead and drawing the elbows down, opening your chest up towards the ceiling. Inhale, lifting your arms overhead and drawing your elbows down. Bring your hands back to your heart, and then bend the knees, lift the arms overhead, find a chair pose to start out. Engage the core, tuck the hips forward, and then bring the hands to the heart and find a forward fold, extending the legs. Lift up halfway, extending through the spine, and exhale, plant your hands. Inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, forward fold. One more time. Inhale, lifting halfway, and exhale, forward fold. Lift your arms all the way up, finding an extended mountain pose, and then bring the hands to the heart. And one more time, bend the knees, find your chair pose. Bring the hands back behind you to clasp, lift the arms away from your back, keeping your knees bent. Fold forward, letting your arms come up above your shoulders and overhead. When you're ready, extending the legs, and then release the arms down to your mat. Lift up halfway, and then exhale, forward fold, plant your hands, and step one foot back, then the other, finding a plank position. Lower the knees down to the mat, and then lift back to a plank. Lower the knees, and lift. Lower to hover, and lift. Lower to hover, hold here, engage through the core, and then let the knees find the mat. Take your hips back towards your heels for a child's pose. Lift your gaze, make your way forward to a tabletop, and start to take some circles with your hips. So drawing the hips down to one side, back into a child's pose, and let the hips circle over to the other foot, then lifting back up to your table, just taking a few circles here. And then when you're ready, switching directions on your own. Warming up through the hips, through the shoulders, and then rest in child's pose. Make your way back to your hovering plank, knees just a couple inches off the ground. And then exhale back, downward facing dog, pushing into all four corners of your palms, and letting your heels drop down towards the floor. And when you're ready, drop your knees, lift your chest, cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, dropping the hips, lifting the chest. And then exhale, back, downward dog. Inhale, roll forward, drop the hips, lift the chest, upward facing dog or cobra. And exhale, back, downward facing dog. Settle into your down dog. Let your chest drop closer towards the mat. And then inhale, lift up out of this. Letting the chest drop towards the mat. And then inhaling back to a neutral spine. And then letting the chest drop to the mat. When you're ready, inhale, lift the right leg, bend the knee, open the hip. And lift up on the fingertips of your right hand. Stay up on your fingertips as you let the foot come back to the mat, and then plant both hands down. Lift up through the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, and come up onto the left fingertips. Good. Opening the chest up towards the sky. When you're ready, place the foot back where it was, and then place the hand back where it was. Slowly start to walk your feet up to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, forward fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up and overhead. Take a slight back bend here, lifting your chest to the ceiling, and then hands to the heart. Inhale, lift the arms overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift up halfway, and then plant the hands. Step one foot back, then the other to a plank. Keep the elbows tucked in as you lower down halfway. And inhale, lift, cobra or upward facing dog. Lifting up through your chest. And then taking the gaze over the right shoulder. And then over the left shoulder. Back to center and exhale back, downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg, bend the knee, open the hip. Come up onto the right fingertips. Opening the chest up towards the ceiling. And then exhale, let the right knee come forward, stepping the foot between your hands. Nice transition. Lower the back heel down, keeping the hips square forward. Lift the arms up, warrior one. And then exhale as you open the chest. Draw the elbows down behind you. And then exhale the hands to frame the foot. Lower down halfway, chaturanga, and lift upward dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Switching sides, lift the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, come up on the left fingertips. And then exhale, draw the knee to center as you step the foot between the hands. Lower the back heel, lift up, warrior one, hips square to the front, core engaged. And exhale, open through the chest, lowering the elbows down. Frame the front foot with your hands. Step the foot back. And then lower down, chaturanga. Lift, upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Bend through the knees, lift the gaze. And then step the feet up to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And bend the left knee, extend through the right leg. And then lift up through the right arm, opening the chest towards the right side. Good. Exhale, back to your forward fold and switch sides, bending the right knee, extending the left, and lift the left arm overhead. Nice IT band stretch. Exhale, forward fold. And then lift the arms all the way up and overhead, taking a slight back bend here. And then hands come to the heart mountain pose. Take the arms to clasp behind you, extend the arms, bend through the knees to a chair pose, and then let the torso fall forward over the thighs. Arms come overhead, hands are still clasped, taking an opening through the front chest and stretching through the front body. Good. Find your forward fold, plant your hands, and step or hop back to plank. Lower halfway, chaturanga, and then lift upward facing dog. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Lift the right leg, bend the knee, open the hip. Lift up onto the right fingertips. And then let the right foot lower all the way down to the ground. Good. And lift the right arm overhead, pointing towards the front of the room. So you're almost in a Wild Thing side plank variation. Step the right foot up to the top of your mat and find a warrior one, lifting the arms overhead. Good. Chest opens, elbows draw down, and then hands clasp behind you. Start to fold forward to the inside of the right leg, humble warrior. Arms are clasped and extended. Inhale, lift back up, release the arms, warrior one, and open the arms out to the side, warrior two. Adjust the feet, engage through the legs, hook the left hand back behind you, reaching for the opposite hip, and the front arm reaches up and back, reverse warrior. From your reverse warrior, make your way back to a crescent pose, hips facing the front of the room. And then exhale, plant the hands. Good. Lift the right knee into the chest, engage the core. And back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to right elbow. Three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to chest. And back, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to opposite elbow. Extend the leg, drop the foot to the ground, and lift the left arm up above. Fallen triangle, maybe letting the arm drop down to your lower back. Bring both hands back to the mat. Right leg reaches back, three-legged dog, and then step it back to your down dog. Lift the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, come up onto the left fingertips. Drop the foot behind you, and lift the left arm, extending forward, bird dog side plank. Good. Transition, stepping the left foot up to the front of the mat, and find your warrior one. Nice and strong. Elbows draw down, chest opens. Clasp the hands, extend the arms, and fold forward, humble warrior. Strong through the legs. Inhale, lift back up. Release the arms overhead, warrior one. And then open the arms out to the side, warrior two. Good. Right arm reaches back behind you, reaching for the front hip. And left arm reaches up and overhead, reverse warrior. Beautiful. Transition back to a crescent pose, hips facing forward, and plant the hands to either side of your front leg. Draw the knee into the chest. Exhale back, three-legged dog. Knee to left elbow, three-legged dog. Knee to chest, three-legged dog. And knee to opposite elbow. Extend the leg, drop the edge of the foot down to the ground, and open through the right arm, fallen triangle. Maybe dropping the right hand back behind your lower back, opening the chest up towards the sky. Beautiful. Bring both hands down to the mat and lift the left leg back up to three-legged dog. And lower to downward dog. Shift forward to a plank and lower the chest all the way to the ground. Lift up cobra and exhale, lower the chest. Inhale, lift up a little higher. Exhale, lower the chest. And inhale, lift up full cobra. And exhale, lower down. Place the forearms down, elbows where your hands just were, right under the shoulders. Coming to a Sphinx pose. Ground the forearms down, pull the elbows back towards your torso. Open through the chest, open through the collarbones. Engaging through the back body. Good. Angle both hands, both forearms out towards the sides. Place the hands, the palms down and push into the palms. Extend the arms, find a seal pose. When you're ready, lower the chest back down. Place the palms of the hands under the shoulders. Lift up through plank and push it back, downward dog. Step or hop your feet to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. And bend the knees, lift up, chair pose. And extend the arms all the way overhead. Extend the legs, mountain pose. Take a slight back bend. And then hands come to the heart. Circle the arms overhead. And sit back, chair pose. Take the hands to clasp behind you. Extend the arms away. And keeping the legs in a chair position, forward fold, resting the chest on the thighs. Arms are coming overhead. And then release the hands down to the mat. Extend the legs, forward fold. Plant the hands, step or hop back to plank. And lower down chaturanga. Lift upward dog. And exhale, take it back, downward dog. You all are doing great. Lift the right leg, bend the knee, open the hip, come up on the right fingertips. You all remember. Let the foot drop back behind you, and this time take it to a full wild thing, lifting the chest all the way up towards the ceiling. Beautiful. And then to transition, slowly coming out of this, taking the right foot up towards the top of your mat, dropping the back heel down, and lifting up warrior one. Draw the elbows down and away, lifting the chest, and clasp the hands behind you. Extend the arms, humble warrior, fold forward. Inhale, lift back up to warrior one, and transition to warrior two, opening out to the side. Hook the back arm back behind your hip. Right arm reaches up and overhead, reverse warrior. Good. Angle your chest towards the back leg and draw the hands down towards the back foot, bringing them through center and back to the front of the mat. Good. Find a lizard pose. Both hands come to the inside of the right foot. You can stay lifted on the back knee or lower it down. You can stay lifted on the hands or come down to the forearms. Depending on the flexibility of your hips, there is no right or wrong. Just do what feels good. Come back up onto your hands, and then bring the right shoulder under the right knee. Extend the arms out long to each side, staying up on your fingertips. Good. Engage through the legs, and if it feels okay, float the arms up off of the ground. Very good. Take the hands down to your mat, and if Kundalini is in your practice, transition to that here. Little arm balance practice, and then step or hop the feet back to your plank. Take it through your vinyasa, finding down dog. And then lift the left leg, bend the knee, open the hip, come up onto the left fingertips. Let the foot drop down behind you. Take it to a full wild thing. Opening the chest up towards the sky, opening through the front body, and then transitioning, taking the left foot up to the top of the mat, grounding the back heel down, and lift the arms overhead, warrior one. Staying strong. Elbows draw down, chest opens, hands clasp behind you. Extend the arms and fold forward, finding a humble warrior. Let your inhale lift you back up, release the hands back to warrior one, transition to warrior two, opening out to the side. Reach the right arm back behind you, reaching for the front hip, and left arm reaches up and overhead, reverse warrior. Turn the torso, letting the arms reach down towards the back leg, And then move the arms through the center and come forward to a lizard pose, ending at the top of your mat. Any variation of lizard pose here, take this as deep as you want, or staying up on the hands and lowering the back knee. Listen to your body, allowing the hips to open up. And then lift back up onto your hands. Take the left shoulder under the left knee and extend through the arms, lifting up on your fingertips. Strengthen through the legs and then lift the arms up. Hover the fingers off of the mat. Beautiful. Place the hands back down on your mat like you're going to enter a push-up position, and taking Kundalini if that's in your practice. And wherever you are, take it back to a plank and move it through your vinyasa flow, finding your down dog. Lift your right leg, bend the knee into the right arm, back to three-legged dog, then to center, back to three-legged dog, then over to the opposite elbow, extend the leg, drop the foot, lift the arm triangle, maybe dropping the top arm behind the lower back. Lower the hand back down to the mat and lift the right leg back to three-legged dog. Switching sides, left leg lifts, and bring the knee to the left elbow, back to three-legged dog, back to center, three-legged dog, and then over to the opposite side, extending the leg, dropping the foot, and lifting the arm to triangle. Top arm can drop down behind the lower back, opening the chest, lowering the hand back to the mat, and taking it back to three-legged dog. Both feet come down to the mat, and send it forward to plank, lower all the way down to the mat. Take the feet together, legs together, hands under the shoulders, and lift the chest, peeling it off the mat, lifting the legs off of the mat as well. Neck stays nice and long, strengthening through the back, and then lower everything back down to the mat. Now extend the arms long beside you, palms on the ground. And then when you're ready, lifting the arms up, chest up, and legs up. Strengthening through the back, through the triceps, through the back of the legs. And then release back to the mat, maybe rocking the hips from side to side, taking a rest. Last one, take the hands to clasp behind you, extend the arms away from you, and lift the legs. Lift the chest. Beautiful back strengthener and heart opener. Lower it back down to the mat, bring the hands under the shoulders, and lift up to plank. Take it back, downward dog. Lift up on the toes, bend the knees, take the gaze forward, and step or hop the feet up to meet the hands. Lift halfway, lower, lift all the way up, arms overhead, hands to the heart, mountain pose, beautiful. Take the hands by the sides, standing tall in mountain pose, engaging through the core. And then take the hands to the heart, lift up on the right toes, taking the weight into the left leg, and reach the right arm behind you, grabbing for the inside of the right foot, the arch of the foot. Start to lean the heart forward as you kick the foot back into the hand, opening through the chest, but stay stable here, strong in the standing leg. And you can add the left arm, sending it out ahead of you, coming into a beautiful royal dancer pose. Slowly come out of this, coming back up to standing. Don't let the foot touch the mat. Lift the right knee into the chest. Good. And then take the hands to your heart. Lift the hands overhead, arms extended, leg reaches behind you, taking a slight back bend. And then bring the knee and the hands into the center. Again, lifting the chest, taking the foot and the hands behind you. Beautiful. Knee and hands into center. One more time. Hands behind you, foot behind you. Balancing back bend. Beautiful. Everything comes back to center. And then step it down to your mat. Beautiful. And let's take it to the other side. So take the weight into the right foot. Lift up on the left toes. Start to find your balance here, preparing. Take the left hand behind you for the arch of the foot. And now lead with your chest. Start leaning forward and push the foot back into the hand. Beautiful. And if you can, extending the right arm. Hold your balance here. I'm about to fall. It's okay if you fall. You can always just come right back to it. Beautiful. Nice and strong. Now bringing everything back to center, trying not to let the left foot touch the floor. And bend the knee into the chest. Again, for that back bend, lift the arms overhead, foot behind you, and then bring it all into center. Lift the arms overhead, arms and feet behind you, and then back into center. And again, extending the arms, taking the left foot behind you, lifting the chest even higher up to the ceiling, and back to center. Beautiful. Take it back down to the mat, all the way releasing. And take the hands by your sides, mountain pose. Drop the chin to the chest and roll the left ear over to the left shoulder. Good. Take it over to the right. Moving through center, just dropping the chin to the chest, switching sides. Maybe taking a full circle with your head if that feels good. Nice stretch through the neck, where we often tense up when we're in these poses that require balance and lots of concentration. So be aware. Try to release when you're in those challenging positions. Beautiful. Lift the arms overhead, extended mountain. Lower down, forward fold. Take the feet out about hips width or a little wider. Hook the fingers around the big toe. Lift up halfway. And exhale, fold forward. Elbows splay out to the side. Dada Hastasana. Beautiful. Release the neck here. And then lift up halfway. Release the hands. Take the feet out even wider. Feet pointing out towards the sides. Then lower down into a prayer squat. Hands are to your heart. Then right arm extends down, left arm reaches up, chest opens to the left. Hands back to center, left arm reaches down, right arm reaches up, opening the chest to the right. Beautiful. Come back to center, hands to your heart, and just sit back. Transition to a boat pose. Try with the knees bent first, legs parallel to your mat, to the ceiling. Then extend the left leg and twist over to the right. Back to center, extend the right leg, twist over to the left. Both knees bend in, extend the left, twist over to the right. Back to center and switch sides over to the left. Beautiful. Extend the left, twist over to the right. Both knees bend, back to center. Extend the right, twist over to the left, and back to center. You've got the hang of it. A couple more, following your own breath. Stay lifted through the chest. Beautiful. And come back to center to your boat. Knees can stay bent or extending the legs. Good. And start to bend the knees. Just come to a seat. Let the feet fall to the mat. Good. Give yourself a hug around your shins. Lift the chest. Beautiful. And then take the hands under the shoulders, back behind you. Feet hips width apart, and lift up to a table pose. Beautiful. Engaging through the back body here. And lower down. This time, take your hips back between your hands. Extend your legs out long. Push into your hands and engage your core, trying to lift the hips off of the mat if possible, or just pressing into the floor. Beautiful. Set up for table once more. Fingertips pointing forward or out to the sides. Lift up to table. And then without touching the mat, move the hips back through the arms to your Dandasana staff pose. Beautiful. Back to tabletop and move the hips back between your arms. Good. Forward to table and back to staff pose. Forward to table and back to staff, keeping the core engaged through each and every one of these movements as you flow, following your own breath now. And when you're ready, lower down, knees, legs extended. Then we'll find a fire log pose. So take the right leg bent, shin as parallel to the top of your mat as you can. And then left leg comes parallel on top of the right shin. And then start to lean forward over your legs, any amount. You don't even have to lean forward if this is too much for you. And if it is too much for you, maybe you just come into a regular pigeon or a figure 4 on your back. Relax into this. Both feet are flexed. Legs are engaged here, protecting your joints. Do your best to relax into this. Send your breath to soften any areas that you feel tight. There may be a few in this one. And just breathe through it. You're doing wonderful. Start to walk your hands back into center, lifting up out of this. And bring your feet back to the mat. Now switching sides, left leg comes down to the mat first this time. Right shin crosses on top, like 2 fire logs. Beautiful. Feet flex, lifting up through the chest, extend the spine. And then start to lean forward, maybe walk the hands out. Good. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Visualizing every inhale you take going to the spaces of tightness, opening it up, creating space where you feel tension, and relaxing the areas around it. Beautiful. Last couple of breaths here. And start to walk the hands back into center, lifting the torso, uncrossing the legs. Bring the feet to the mat. And scoot forward, laying all the way back. Keep the knees bent, feet come in towards the hips, and bring the feet parallel. Send the arms out long beside your body, and lift the hips. Beautiful. Engage through the back body. Lift the chest up to the sky, chin up to the sky. Pretending that you're squeezing a block between your thighs, bringing the knees and thighs parallel to each other. And when you're ready, exhale, lower down to the mat. Bring the feet together, let the knees open out wide. Rest here. Take a couple breaths. Doing a lot of work today to open up through the heart. Opening the front of the body, finding space where we're often hunched over. And once again, when you're ready, finding your bridge, pressing up. This time, maybe clasping your hands underneath you, shimmying your shoulders under your chest. Beautiful. And when you're ready, lowering down, bring the feet together, let the knees open wide. Supine cobbler pose as we take a rest here and reconnect back to the intention that we set at the beginning of class. What brings you here? Why are you here? Why do you do these poses that might be a little difficult, a little challenging? Beautiful. Let's set up for one more bridge or wheel if that's in your practice. Taking the hands by your ears, feet parallel, pushing up, setting the crown of your head on the ground, and then lifting all the way up, drawing the chest back between your hands. Neck is relaxed, legs are as extended as possible. You can always just take a bridge as well if that is a deep enough back bend for you, which it is for many of us. So beautiful. Last couple of breaths. And when you're ready, lower all the way down onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze and take the knees in a circle in one direction. Massaging through the low back. Switching sides. Switching directions with your circles. Nice counter stretch. Give yourself a tight squeeze here. Good. And keep the squeeze on your right leg. Extend the left leg out long. And take it into a spinal twist. So take the leg over to the opposite side. And then take the arm over the right. Take the gaze over the right arm. Good. If you want a little deeper stretch through the IT band, take a hold of the big toes or the outside edge of the right foot with the left hand. And extend the leg here. There can be a bend in the knee, that's perfectly fine. Just extend the leg until you start to feel the stretch intensify. Beautiful. Bend the knee back into the chest, coming back to center. And take the hands behind the thighs or the calf. And extending the leg, pulling the leg in towards the chest. Nice long hamstring stretch here. Beautiful. And bend the knee, switching sides. So extending the right leg, taking the left knee into the chest. And then taking the knee over to the right into a spinal twist. Left arm reaches long. Taking the gaze over the left arm and shoulder. Beautiful. And then if it feels okay to you, take a hold of the outside edge of your left foot with the right hand. You can bend the knee to get into this. And then just start to extend the leg, maintaining that grip there until you start to find a nice intense stretch through the side of your leg. Outside of the thigh. This can be a deep, deep stretch, so if you need to bend your knee, that is perfectly fine. Beautiful. Bend the knee, bring it back to center, and extend the left leg long. Reach left foot pointing up to the sky and reach the hands to clasp behind the thigh or the calf, pulling the leg in. Breathing space into the back of the leg, into the hamstring. And then bend the knee, bend both knees. Give yourself a hug, rock from side to side. Nice long squeeze. And then let the legs extend out long. Arms rest by your side. Take up space here. And let your body just sink into the mat. Beautiful. Do a last body scan. Just letting any tension go that is remaining in your body, in your mind. You've done so much wonderful work here today, working through some difficult, challenging heart openers. These poses are always a challenge for me too, because it requires us to be very vulnerable. To open our hearts physically and emotionally is difficult, but it's so worth it. So thank you for taking this time for yourself. Let yourself rest here in the Shavasana. And let yourself call forward into your mental picture the things that you hold dear in your heart. The things, the people, the experiences, the emotions. Let yourself rest in that. Start to bring your focus back into this room, back into your surroundings and your body. As you notice the sounds, the smells, the sensations, start to find some movement in your fingers, your toes, maybe rocking your head from side to side. Take the arms overhead, feet together, nice full body stretch. And draw the knees into the chest, give yourself a little hug here. Roll over to one side, finding fetal position. And a quote to end our beautiful class today: always live with an open heart. This means being available to both the outer and the inner worlds. The openness of the heart is nothing else but the vastness of pure awareness, the eternity of the present moment. And when you're ready, keeping your eyes closed, make your way back up to a seat. Find a tall spine. Bring the hands to the heart. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I'm so grateful to share this moment with you and for you to trust me to guide you through this practice. I am truly grateful and honored. The light in me bows to the light in you. From my mat to yours and my heart to yours, namaste.